Hi, it's Dorothy Kilty, and I'm on the design team on Facebook for Creating with Jovi. And this is April, and I'm using two kits in this one. I'm using the Anne with an E kit and the Roses and Ferns Echo Die kit. And I had two books with Anne and Green Gables because I've been wanting to do one of these journals. And so I made this an altered book. Okay, and then I have this one. This one was a little thinner, so I didn't want to do an altered book with that. But it has some of these wonderful black and white drawings. And so I am likely to use some of them in the journal as well. So let me start. I'm going to very, very quickly just show you some of the papers, and I mean quickly, okay? Both of these are gorgeous kits. Now, I thought this Anne of Green Gables, okay, so you'll see some of these pages again as we go through the book. Some of these are in there and some are not. The first time I printed this, I printed these papers with the Echo Dyed kit on the back. And there may be more than one copy of some of these, but I just thought these images were so beautiful. And if I think of echo dyeing and the floral patterns as being around the Anne of Green Gables timeline. And so I thought this was perfect backing for the papers and stuff. I did lose a few of the papers because I printed them wrong. But this is the ephemera kit. And so what I've done is I've cut the pages up into strips. That way it kind of helps keeping them together, but I can cut out the parts that I need. And I'm just going to do a little bit of crafting here. So I want to show you what I'm doing with the book. I thought this was a beautiful book. It was printed in the 90s, and so it's pretty new. But I started off with this on the inside. Now, what I've also done is I made this with this image from the book itself into a pocket, because I'd like to have a pocket on the inside for sure. Okay, and then I left the table of contents here for now. May change that. All of these blank pages are great journaling pages, so I thought that was fun. Now, this picture, I accidentally tore these pages out, so I've gone back. This one, I just glued it together, and then this one has two pockets in it to put things in, so I'll be filling the pockets and everything. This one has 2 pockets, slanted pockets here that need to be dressed up. This page, I wrapped one of the pages around this, and then you can see on the back, oh, hate it when I do that. Okay, something to fix. But I put this is with the Echo Dyed paper on the back of this, and then I put a sheet here. I believe this is light enough that you can write over it. And so then we come up to another one of the pictures in the book. This page, I folded this down into a side tuck, and then I have some of that yellow lace and the colors in it. Okay, this one is just glued together. This one has a tuck space here, but also this folds up, so you have kind of a secret writing place underneath there. And I'll be decorating all these pages some more. I just wanted to get it together. So in some cases, I just left the illustrations in the book alone with writing on the back of it. So this has one pocket. And you can see I kind of folded the paper to make a little bit of a fun edge on it, on that one. And here we have a page that's got a tear out in it. And then you pull out the tag. I can get my hands on the tag. Okay, so I'm going to have to put something on that, obviously. But then we have the picture underneath. of Anne with her hat. I think that's Anne. Somebody with her hat. Okay, so let's just put this back. So the pictures in the books don't exactly match Jovi's beautiful papers, but it's close enough to make it fun. So this here, I just took half of one of her pages and glued it down, so I've got a journaling spot there. This one, I have 2 pockets. So I've got a pocket here, a half-page pocket here, and another half-page pocket here. So just some fun little things for people to find. This I just, this is where I tore out the pages. And so rather than gluing these 2 together, I just took one of Jovi's beautiful pages and glued it in here. And now, of course, this is a great writing spot in this book. Okay, this one, it will be decorated, but the way it's going to be, it flips up here for more hidden journaling, and then we have a pocket right here. Okay, so here we have a side pocket. Okay. Another beautiful picture from this book, illustration. This one is supposed to just be glued together and it's coming apart. So I'll come back and take that. Now this beautiful page across 2, this is a pocket. And then this has a pocket, a side pocket here. So you've still got writing here, and then I'll decorate this. And I took 1 notch out of this, and then this side is 2 pocket tuck spots right here. Okay, they are pretty tight, I've noticed. So here we have another slanted pocket here, and another one of the illustrations of the book. Now this one, I just made a flip out on this page. So you've got writing, but I love this little message here. I've discovered it's not what the world holds for you, it's what you bring to it. And I think that flipping that out makes it fun. It's also a pocket here on the side. Okay. I tore out quite a few pages out of this book. Another one that's not quite glued. Okay, again, the same thing with the double pages glued in where the pages were turned out, were torn out, and then you've got writing space here. So that's the end of the book, more writing space. So I think this is going to be a nice journal when it's done. So let me just, I'm not going to worry about filling these big pockets right now. I'll come back and do that. But I think we need to decorate these pages a little bit. So I'm just going to take and clip this book like this, okay? Now, another thing that I think is very, very indicative of this time is some like handmade laces and things like that. So I have some different laces and things here. Now this is one of those laces that it's a sticker, so it glues down. So I can just take this and measure this along here and cut it off. Now I don't totally trust any glue. I don't know how old, I know where I got this lace, but I don't know how old the glue is or anything, so I always reinforce it. And I'm just going to take this book page that came out of the book, and I'm going to run the glue along the edge here a little bit, and then go on all the way up to here if I can. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to take this off and see if I can get the backing off. So one of the things I may do with these little pieces I've cut off is just to sit and make some clusters with them. And then I can add the clusters to different pages to add them. It makes it, if you just you know, make a whole bunch of clusters all together, I can use some of the book pages that I tore out. Let's see if this is going to come off. I have pretty good fingernails. What's the matter with this? Well, that glue there is all dry now. Let's come in from the top and not the bottom. So what I'm trying to do is just kind of stick this pin between the layers, the paper liner. There we go. And the kind of cloth tape. And I'm going to put this right along here. So by doing this, we're kind of reinforcing the edge of the pockets, but also just making them a little easier to see. Huh, okay. That's why it's not sticking, because the paper came off. This time I have a little bit of a piece of paper that I can see to pick at and see if I can get it coming loose. Yeah, there we go. So in this case, it wasn't the pin part that was good. It was the I was just rolling my finger over it to cut it off. Okay, let's do that again right here. I'm going to use the identical lace trim here. And this time, let's just take this and put a bead right through here. I made myself a new jar bottle, and I'm doing it, you know, for my glue to set it upside down in. And I'm doing it a little bit different this time. So I'm really hoping that it's going to be secure. I have a bad habit of wasting glue when I put it upside down in there, but it makes it so easy to use that I don't want to get rid of that option. So I keep fine-tuning it. Okay, and so I'll need a tag or a piece of paper to go inside these two pockets. And then I think that with this, let's just go ahead and make a little cluster using the lace, but then also using one of these really nice little pieces from the kit. I was really glad that this kit has so many different colors in it. It's got the lavender and the yellows and everything, so it goes really nicely with that backing paper that I bought for it. Makes it, let's see, I think this is the back. Really may not make much difference. Now I do try and get some glue when I've got these edges that were cut off. This was cut out of a doily or something. I love it when people give me doilies or I find them at the thrift store or charity shops or something, so I can cut them apart. And so really, the ones that are stained, I love stained ones. I think the stained ones add character to it. And so I don't just cut it out and put it away. I actually find a way to use that stained part. And I think that I didn't put glue on this piece. So I'm just gonna, for this one, it's going to go right here. So we're just going to put some glue down right there. And then we'll add, I'm going to ink this. I do think it'll make it a little bit more interesting. And this is Fabri-Tac glue in this Sugar Bell piping bottle because the Sugar Bell piping bottle is much easier for me to hold on. I've got arthritis in my hands and it gets difficult sometimes. Nope, I don't think I want to put that there. Okay, so there we go with that. Now a lot of times what I'll do when I think that things are, you know, there's still glue along to prevent what you saw earlier where we had the torn page, is I'll just take some wax paper and put it between the pages. Okay, so here we go. We have this pretty pop-out page. Have to come back. Okay, so I've already got the yellow lace with this decorating this pocket. Okay, now here we go with this. I am going to cut off the top of this page. I folded it a little close. This is what happens when your hand acts up with trigger finger a little bit while you're crafting. And I know you can't see this, but I'm just kind of trimming the top of the page off like that. Okay. Okay, so I just trimmed along here. So now when we put this down, it lays better. Now, obviously, it's gonna tuck, you know, come up for that journaling spot, but we still need to decorate this and maybe this. So I'm gonna start by sliding this underneath here. And I thought about inking these pages that I wanted to ink before I went through, but I wasn't 100% sure what I was going to do on all of these, and so I decided I would just, you know, make the decisions as I went along. So that's what I'm doing. All right. So now this here, you take this pin off this fabric I have, and I also have, look at all these trims. My sister gave these to me. Aren't they beautiful? Now, where is that? No, I don't think I want to cut that up right now. I want to think about it a little bit before I cut it up. Green, more of that. These are all very pretty. Okay. This is a butterfly. Too big for this journal, but how pretty. Okay, let's see what we've got as far as some of these papers and stuff that can be done. If you take something like this, that's a little stamp here, and let's see if I've got a scissors right here. Nope. Ocean waves, that's not what I want. This is the first time I'm back to crafting, really, since my vacation. And I've obviously rolled things around and stuff. So I'm going to take these. These are not exactly the same, but they're kind of close. And cut a edge on this zigzag edge. Okay. Put these up here. And what I want this to do is to be a little bit of a latch to hold this page down, but so that you can still take it out for the hidden journaling. So I'm thinking that, and then looking for something nice to go behind it. So let's take, so this is, there's some really pretty things at the bottom, but we have these pieces at the top here that are this lace that are kind of a netting and things. This was not exactly what I aimed to use that for, but I think it's pretty, so I will. Let's see. I think this is the right side. So we will go like this, and this will be glued down here. All right, let's just take and do that. So this is the place where a small cluster, if you have one already prepared, can be a good thing to do to put it on, okay? I should have glued this to the lace before I did this. So we're just gonna lift it up so that this will be right there. I may have that upside down. It'll be okay. If it was that hard for me to see, it'll be okay. These have probably dried and set now. So I'm just going to take this and move it over here. Now, on this up here, I think one of these pieces up here, I don't really want to fussy cut that teapot right now, even though I think it'd be adorable. But let's just put this up here for a little bit of interest in that corner of the page. And I'm just going to use the glue stick. The thing about glue stick, if you want it to last a long time, is first of all, I think you really have to put a lot on. And then the second thing is you have to get it down fast before it has a chance to start drying out. Okay, let's see what else we have here that we can maybe decorate kind of quickly. Okay, I like this page. This was fun to do, this little fold page here. And I think that the fold itself, you know, tucks were so popular in Anne's time as well. So by putting these little tucks in the paper, now I thought about trimming these and make them, you know, cutting down inside and making them, you know, more tuck spots. But I decided I didn't really want to do that. So let's just get a little bit of trim here. Have lots of that gold. It's really pretty. Not that. Not that. Perhaps I should have gotten some more out. Let's see. I'm going to ink the edges of this page as well. Okay, and what we can do with this, which I think is fun, is just to take some of these smaller pieces and make a little, you know, little design going up the side of the page. So I will have to fussy cut these out a little bit. Okay, so we have now one of the things you can do when you're connecting several small pieces like this is just to take like washi tape or ribbon or something. So we have this really pretty plaid ribbon, and again, you know, plaid was kind of popular in those days. So I think what I'm going to do is run the piece of plaid down here and okay, so we're just going to put a bead of glue right down here. So what this does, by putting this piece of plaid down there, have you been yelling at me to clip this page together? Here we go. Okay. It provides some continuity for the different other pictures that we glue down. So where we want that to be to the top of the page. Okay, and then cut it off here at the bottom. I'm going to cut just a little bit of a slant here. Okay, so now we can start looking at putting some of these here. I'm going to ink both sides of this edge, but also put some ink around the back of this so that if it sticks over the edge of the page, it's just not plain white. I don't want it to... Okay, so we're going to put... Here's a little fox. I don't think we want to put the baking, so I'm going to take and cut out Anne's hat. So I was a huge Anne of Green Gables fan when I was younger. And then I bought all the books for my daughter when she got to be about a teenager. I don't think she liked them as well as I did. You know, she was a more modern child than I was. But she did read them, and I'm wondering if her daughter ever read them. It's kind of fun. It's fun to me when I'm sharing books that I enjoyed with my family. I just think that's a fun thing. So, yeah. Okay, let's make sure this is tucked under here. Okay, so doing this doesn't interfere with the pockets, the tuck spots at all, but it means that if the tuck spots are pulled out, then there's still some decorations and stuff, whatever goes into the pockets or the tuck spots. So, and on that, I think for continuity, I'm going to put some of this over here. I'm not going to, this time, glue things on them. This is just going to be down here. Okay, so I'm not going to decorate the whole book right now. I just wanted to give you a flavor of what I'm doing for the Creating with Jovi design team project this month, because I've been really excited about doing this. We have a whole bunch of baking things, and I think I want to think up a way to use the baking together. So again, this is not a complicated page, but it's a fun page. Okay, so here we have that tear. So let's go ahead and work on this. Now my intention was to back this on something, a piece of cardstock or cardboard or something, to give it some body to it. And also, let's see what we have here. These pages are Okay. So these are only dyed on one side. My printer and I just don't communicate well sometimes, okay? So I wanted to print a copy of this on 7 pages. 7 pages of the journal. And instead, what did I do? I printed 7 copies of these papers. Now, they're gorgeous. They go with a lot of things. It is certainly not going to be a waste for me at all. But I did end up with a lot of copies. Maybe I'll put them in and just print something else on the back of them for another book. Because I think these papers, these eco-dyed papers, are really something that I'll be able to use with a lot of different kits. That's one of the reasons why I wanted them. And what I'm going to do with this is fold it up so it'll fit in that pocket, and then put the other and decoration behind it. So now I did glue in along the book side when I glued most of these pages in. I just wanted to reinforce the book and the spine there where I had torn out pages. I thought that was a good idea. So that's what I did. So now the question is, I'm going to put this on it, and I do think it's pretty, but I do want some of this to show. Let's see first of all, how much room we have on each side of this pocket as we put this in. So, I don't know, can you see this? This is you've got room all the way over here and all the way over here. So it's not a huge amount, but it's probably at least a ½ inch. So that's going to give us a ½ inch border around here. So what I want to do, first of all, is to fold this edge in. Let's put the book up. I don't need it here to make this. Okay, and then, so if we put this on here, I don't know, you may think the grungy doesn't look so good with the bright colors of Jovi's and with an E kit, but I like it. I don't know what to say. I like it. So I'm going to take, I want some, even though I'm reinforcing this, I want to take and put some writing paper on the back so that I do have lines to write on. Now, the other thing I could do is did this. What if I did that? What if I brought this over just a tiny bit more? Okay, let's glue this down. Start with this. I'm so bad about gluing things down without putting something underneath it, and that is why you see such a mess on my table. you want to make sure you get the edges of this too. And I kind of, okay. So now we're going to start at this edge and smooth it down. Okay. And let's go back to the book. Okay. Make sure this goes in before we do anything else. Now when the glue dries and this is reinforced, this will slide in better. Unless I just made it too big. Oh yeah, that's kind of what happened. I got too close in on the side here in a couple places. Okay. Oh, I just had an idea that I wish I had thought of when I was tearing out this page. Oh, well, another day. Nope, it's just too big. And that's going to work fine for another page, so I'm not willing to ruin it. Okay. Sorry, cutting again. Now that I kind of know what I'm doing, it should go a little faster. So I need to make it a little smaller than this page, right? And this one is going to go under. So I'm just going to fold this. What's the chances I can fold it straight this time, huh? And then I want it to be a little smaller. So do you see the way I'm holding this so that there's an edge here? That's so that I can mark here. Now that should give me enough smaller of an edge so it'll fit into the pocket well. Okay? And then let's just take a look at this. Yes. Okay, so let's glue her down again. I did not clean my craft room before I left. And I have in-process projects falling all over me. So you can see me fighting them off. Okay, let's try this again. And hope that this time I got it right. Okay. This. You know, I'm going to try it in here again. Nope, let's take it over a tiny bit more. If this fold doesn't look good when I'm done, then what I will be doing is putting a little piece of lace or something on it. You know, one of the scenes in this is She has a rosebud trimmed neckline of one of her dresses. And so I think I'm going to I believe someplace around here, I have a little thing with roses on it. So I think I'm going to try and find that. I think I'm going to put this on this side. Okay, now we want this to go into this pocket in such a way that this girl shows up properly. So I don't mind, let's see. One thing about altered books versus making a journal is that it's easier to, okay. Now we want her to go here. So she needs to go pretty much to the bottom, I think. Let's see if we can, yeah, this is not going too much. So we'll go a little farther. Okay, so we will put her pretty close to the bottom. I would rather cut off a little bit more of her dress than to cut off the top of her head. So now the other thing that you should not do with glue sticks is leave the tops off, because then they dry out. So I have been known to put a little bit of water inside the cap and leave it sit overnight, and it does come back. Okay, see if we got her straight. Where did the cap go? Is it one of the things that ended up on the floor? Well, we'll put it there. Okay, I think that this is going to be enough for tonight. I just wanted to introduce you to the journal and to what I was doing with these gorgeous pages. I like the fact that I think I might put some like flower stickers and stuff around here a little bit. It'll do two things. It'll help reinforce this edge a little bit, I think. And also, you know, add decoration to it. So, but I wanted you to see what I'm doing with this month's kit so that we could get on with it. I don't know how much I'll do on camera. We'll see. But gorgeous book, gorgeous kit, and with an E, and Roses and Ferns Echo Dye Journal Kits for this month. I want to thank you for supporting me, for watching my channel. I'm at D.A. Kilty, Raccoon Ellie Creations on YouTube, and I will look forward to seeing you again.